stupid stuff that I'd done in the past here brought me here. And if here I'm not able to say thanks to me here, why am I here for? I have to say thanks to myself. It's like that thing. What would you say to yourself of 10 years ago? What is that one phrase that you would say to him? You know what I would say? Continue like this. I'm proud of you. I will never say you're about to make a mistake. Don't do it. I would never say that. Because that is what made me the person that I am now. And I kind of like it. It's about how you perceive suffering. It's about how you perceive, what's your tolerance level. There's people that have had worst stories than ever and still are alive and still are happy and smiling.
What do you want to leave behind? Like, what do you want your legacy to be by the time you're done acting?
Wow. What a question. Man.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 1% Podcast. As always, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing support. And thank you guys for showing love on every single episode. I have a guest with me today, Stefano Carannante.
Yeah,
there
right.
we go. Let's go.
that was great. Let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
It's Stefano. Yeah, that's
okay.
right.
All right. I'm learning Italian, so taking Italian in school, so it's paying off a little bit, the little accent, you know.
It is.
But I just want to say thank you for coming on today. You've done some incredible work in the entertainment space. You've appeared on Blue Bloods and then the hit show that's going crazy right now on Apple TV, Severance.
Yeah.
As they may know you as Dario on
right.
Yeah. I guess I just kind of really wanted to start off. It's a little bit of a I guess how we start off in terms of this podcast. You know, you really wanted to go into the backstory of like where you came from and all of that. So I would love to know a little bit more about your childhood and you know, going to Italy for acting and then coming back here. I would love to know a little bit more on your backstory.
Yeah, sure. Where to start? I'm sorry, this is the first time.
No, it's okay.
I'm kind of nervous. Yeah, so I was born in New Jersey and in Flemington, and then after 3 years living over there, I just moved to Italy with my mom. My dad had a pizza place over here, and I stayed with my mom, my grandparents in Italy for the last 23 years. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to New York. So what I did is I studied acting in Milan. I studied acting in Naples too, as well. And then I came over here and I started waitering. And unfortunately 8 months into the restaurant industry, an audition came out and was an audition for this show, Severance. I didn't even know it was for Severance. I swear to God. I found out it was for Severance after. It was probably after the second audition. Yeah, it was after the second audition. I sent in the videos. I sent in the self-tapes. And then I figured out that the director was Ben Stiller. And I said, "Oh wow, that's kind of cool. let me see what he's doing. Maybe I can, you know."
So you didn't know Ben Stiller prior to that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We know Ben Stiller in Italy.
Yeah.
We have TV.
Okay.
No, he's great in. I mean, me and my dad, we used to go to this. We like going to museums, right? Mm-hmm. So we went to all the museums that where they shot the 3 movies of not at the museums, right? It's 3 or 2. I don't remember.
I believe it's 2.
It's
I'm
2,
not
right?
sure. I don't think they made it 3. Hopefully
so
they did.
Anyway, those are the movies that you know, they helped us, me and my dad, you know, to bond, and yeah, that was great. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know it was Ben Stiller directing, so I just Googled see what is doing Ben Stiller right now, what Ben Stiller is doing right now, and it popped up Severance. So I said, oh, okay, let me reread the the script, and I said, yeah, that's for Severance. So that the anxiety came up right now in that moment, and yeah.
So why acting? And I think the something that I when I spoke with Nick, shout out to Nick.
Hello, Nick.
When I spoke to Nick, he said that his purpose was to inspire people and move people through, just leading people and inspiring people and motivating people. But his calling was acting. That's what God called him to do.
Mm-hmm.
For you, what was so attractive about acting that you wanted to pursue this as a career?
Makes me happy. It's just simple as that. When I'm on stage, when there's a camera rolling and there's the opportunity to create something fun, something inspiring, something that gives a story, something that promotes a message, I'm in. It's fun. It's fun to create. It's fun to put these little things all together and all the people, all the people working on the same project. It's just fun. And I do believe that this is work.
Mm-hmm.
And and I really want to use my time to work in the field that I love and that makes me happy. For first of all, I want to be happy first, and if I'm happy, I might be able to make people happy. If I'm not, it's gonna be very difficult for me, at least. I know a lot of people that just do it for everybody else, but not for them. And I'm not saying that is wrong. I mean, I don't know, but in my case, I need to be happy first. So this is it's great for me, and that will help me, and that is helping me to, to entertain people and make them feel nice and make them feel great. So yeah, that's the reason why. And I didn't even choose acting. Acting chose me. There were some opportunities out there when I was little, 10 years old, 12 years old. And you want to do this theater play here in school? And I say, yeah, of course, it's fun. Let's do it. And then I did another one. Then I did another one. And then after that, somebody said, hey, you should audition for this school in Milan. And I said, yeah, okay, why not? I didn't have much to do, but it was the thing that in that moment made me happy in that moment. So I said, yeah, let's do it. I got into the school, spent my 3 years graduating in Milan. One thing led to another, and now we're here. It's not a thing that I actively decided in one moment, in one period of my life. It just came and I accepted it. It came more and I accepted it, and it came and I accepted it. And right now is something that is part of me. It is part of who I am. So there's no need to accept it anymore. There's just need to acknowledge the fact that Stefano equals actor, Stefano equals artist, Stefano equals Stefano.
I guess something that, you said it's always been fun, but there's been times where things weren't so fun. And when did you kind of understand that realization that Stefano equaled acting? Like, was there a defining moment? Was there, something you were auditioning for? Was there a scene when you watched everything play out in the end where you finally got to see the show that you were on? Like, what was that moment for you, that defining moment that was like, Stefano equals acting?
The moment is different from when I realized that was the moment. So the moment happened when I did this play in Monte di Velocina, the town where I lived my entire life, and that was the funniest and the most the beautiful period of my life, and it made me happy. So that was the moment where I. Can we repeat this question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what was that moment that you knew that you said Stefano equals acting?
Yeah.
When was that moment that you knew that? Was there something that you saw in terms of maybe watching a film? I know that you mentioned the Ben Stiller, but was it that moment? Was it the moment when you saw yourself on Blue Bloods? Like, was it the moment? What moment was that for you?
The moment is exactly this. I did this play in Monte di Procida. That's my hometown. Let me say that. Even if I was not born there, but I lived there my entire life. Where I did plays and acted with my friends, and that made me happy. So as I said before, happiness should be the reason why, the ultimate goal for a person, right? It should. That's what I think. It should be the ultimate goal. Why are we here? Why are we on this earth? Because we want to be happy, right? We want to go towards that, that ultimate goal. And I'm not saying that I'm there, or I've been there, but I'm saying that was the closest moment, the closest part of my life to that specific goal. So yeah, that was the moment where I realized that if I don't do this, I won't be happy like this anymore. But let me tell you something. I'm also a photographer, and I found that accomplishment and that happiness in taking picture too. Not that much, but close to it. So yeah, that's why I said artist before too. Yeah.
Some people find happiness in money, and it seems in this case you find happiness in creation.
Yeah.
Do you believe, hearing this, I hear so much conviction that whatever you're doing equates to happiness, but then other people in certain situations or certain circumstances would believe that money equals happiness because they're not able to pay for the things that they want or do the things that they do because money is an issue.
Yeah.
Do you believe that money equals happiness?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I do believe that money it's necessary. Money is necessary to do whatever you need to be happy. It's math. I mean, if okay, let's do an example. I want to act, and acting makes me happy. But how do I get to rehearsals, in New York and Broadway? How do I get there? I need to live close to Broadway or whatever in New York, right? How do I live in New York? Because I need money. It's very easy. It's people that say happiness equals money. Okay, let's think about this, right? Let's break this down and see why is that half true, half not, right? Because it's not directly money equals happiness. Happiness has a different value, and money will help you reach happiness. But happiness is not money, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's half and half. But I do think that money is really important. Mm-hmm. It's the true part. In fact, when I moved here in New York, and I didn't have a manager, I didn't have an agent, I didn't have friends, I didn't have not even a path, a little path where to go in the acting field, and I started being a server. I was sad. I was very, very, very sad. But that money, I needed that money to continue to stay in New York, and learn English, and get a manager, and get an agent, and get the audition for Severance. Without that money, I couldn't have done that. Yeah, I love cool things. My cameras, they cost, my lenses, they cost a lot. I love it. Yeah, it's nice. It's not necessary though. It's not necessary.
It's an interesting thing because we as people believe that, or we believe that once we reach X, whatever X is, it's we can't be content until we have X. So X is like success, X is money, and that's why I think success is so subjective, because when do you understand how much enough success is enough for you, right? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but how do we know that this, what I'm doing, and I reach a certain level of like status or like money, how do we know it's enough? You know, I think that's one of the things that we struggle with as humans, because we don't understand what enough is, or social media kind of tells us otherwise.
It's we're humans, and every single one of us. I mean, not every single one of us, but I feel like a lot of people, we are never happy. We are never we not okay. Let's do this again. Let's say this again. It's never enough. As soon as as you accomplish something, you just want to hop on the next one, on the next goal, on the next goal, on the next goal, on the next goal. I see a lot of billionaires over there. Elon Musk, he's a billionaire, right? He has the most money I've ever imagined in my entire life, but still he's going on. He's going further, right? Not, I don't care, but he doesn't want to stop. When do you decide that you want to stop? I imagine the only way you decide you want to stop is because you want to spend time with other people, like with your family, for example. Like I see grandfathers say, okay, I'm done now. I want to stay with my grandchildren. That's it. This is where I stop thinking about me. Me. No. It happens also for parents. I mean, I'm not a dad right now, but I imagine that when I'll have a kid, I will stop thinking only about me. Right? It's inevitable.
Yeah.
You love that little kid.
It seems how selfish we can be as humans sometimes, though, where it's all about kind of what you alluded to is like me, and then you have to think about other people and understanding when it's time to like hang up the boots, you know?
Yeah,
and like a football term, or
or the acting mask.
Or when is it time to let it go?
Yeah, that doesn't mean that when it happens you have to hang, the acting mask or their boots. It means that your priorities change. Priorities change. That doesn't mean that there's no way you're acting anymore. No, that doesn't. Why? You should still think about yourself, right? But not as 100% that is right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. How did the other roles, Blue Bloods, the other roles that you did, in Italy, or some of the roles that you did here, how did that kind of set you up to feel confident in this audition at Severance? I mean, obviously you didn't know that during the time you didn't know that it was going to be this big show, but how do you feel those other roles kind of set you up for success in this one?
It's not about the role, it's about what I did. In Italy, I spent a couple of years in this Netflix show called Flippetao. It was a kids show on YouTube, on Netflix Futures, about these two guys, Flip, that's me, and Tao, that's Claudia. I'll say hi, Claudia. We were just there dancing, having fun, being ourselves, right? So being ourselves, that is what led me to be confident in be who I really am in certain, for certain characters, obviously, in front of a camera. And that helped me a lot for the auditions for Severance. The audition for Severance was for an Italian, with an Italian accent. in this space, right? Having conversation and dialogues with other people, and I'll I'll tell you what, I had I was afraid, but then I realized, let's just be myself. Let's just do whatever I know, and my Italian accent came out, and I started talking like this, and because that's who I am. That's who I am. I'm when I do the American accent is because I studied and I try to do it because I want American roles, because I can choose. I'm trying to choose between Italian accent and American accent. But yeah, when I did the audition, that was me. That was very very much part of myself. So that helped me a lot to get the role.
How much of acting is actually being yourself, though? Because obviously you're acting a part. You're acting as another person, as another identity. How much of acting do you have to have confidence like in yourself? If you're going into a completely different role, a completely different mindset, a completely different person, you have to act as another person. So how do you stay confident in the audition, knowing that you're doing a different identity or a different person?
What is acting as as a different person? What is that? It's changing the tone of your voice. It's changing the rhythm of your voice. It's changing the rhythm of your body and your movements in your body. It's changing your breath. It's changing the accent. Is changing the actions, but you do not decide your actions, or sometimes you do. It's changing what you say, but it's not changing the reason why you're doing certain actions and certain body movements, or choosing certain objectives internally, in yourself. I can act like a Martian going into a spaceship, but the reason why the Martian is going to the spaceship is the same reason why Stefano is going to get into his car to go to work. Right? Anything else, the settings and Mars, the light, the microphone, the music, the clothes, the makeup, you do not do that. It's the team that does that. It's the production. You're not the only one who makes the movie, and you're not the only one who makes the character. It's not that. You didn't dress up yourself. You didn't dress yourself. You didn't do the makeup yourself. There's the director that chose the right angles. There is the editor that chose the right parts. There's the colorist that chose the right colors, the lights, the right lights, everything. It's the team that made you appear the best way possible for that character. And obviously, you used techniques to create that character, but the techniques are the things that I said to you before. But the reason why the character is doing that thing, you just get it from yourself. You have to make it real. Yeah.
Do you think that we've lost that sense of like authenticity within ourselves? In your observation of, I'm asking this as like, I've never been outside the country, so the understanding of what I have is only secular to here, and I'm not sure what life is like in Italy or Europe. Do you feel like in your time in America that we've lost our sense of, or just it could just be in humanity, that we've lost our sense of genuineness and authenticity within ourselves?
I feel like this TikTok, Instagram Reels, it's killing us. It's killing the authenticity. It's killing the joy of doing something for others and not for that. This still was on the table. It was on the table. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It could have easily been in my backpack over there. But no, it was on the table. This thing commands me, controls me. It's, example. It's not that it really controls me, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, yes, we lost authenticity. And yeah, one of my goals is to gain that again. Is it? Get out of here.
In the movie Severance, it explores the themes of personal identity, in and outside of the workplace. They're completely different, and the memory that they have. Did playing this role make you kind of reflect on your own identity or your own introspection of self? Because the way that I think it's portrayed is that they're two different people,
Mm-hmm.
but the same person,
Yeah.
but show up differently. So in doing this role, did you kind of, maybe not your identity in self, but like, did you kind of learn something about yourself in doing this film and understanding the plot and kind of seeing the whole story come together? In doing this role, did you gain an understanding or a better understanding about yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, I just learned that being ourselves is the best thing ever. Trying to not delete or cancel any sides of you want to hide from people. No, it's just try to be yourself. Yeah.
Was there any what was it like working with some of that? What was it like working with Ben Stiller
Mhm.
and the rest of the crew and the rest of the actors in the film?
Scary, scary. It was my first big thing here in America, so I was scared. I remember the first day, I I went over there and I met everybody. And Ben Stiller calls me and says, "Hey, we need to do a test shooting something. I don't know. Just put yourself over there." And the camera comes towards me. Um, and I go like, "Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. I was playing it cool. I was not. So, and Ben Stiller says, "Okay, you just need to stand over there. We need to see the lights. We need to see everything. Yeah, go, because he's kind of and I go like, yeah." Like so serious. I was like, I mean, super afraid. And he was like, "Does that your smiles?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So embarrassing. It was my first thing. I was scared, but then after the day, after whatever, couple days, the Venster is a great guy. He really helped me actually a lot. He put me in a very comfortable environment where I could explore a lot. So yeah, I need to thank him. And I also and I loved working with Alia, Bob, Adam, yeah, Jamel. Oh my God, that was great. That was amazing. These guys are great. I just learned a lot from them, a lot. And they were so natural. It was so beautiful seeing them working. They had no problems at all. They were there and just doing it. And I wished that maybe one day I will be confident as them, because I was not. I mean, I was not as much confident as a as an experienced actor on a set like that. I still was afraid. And that is good. That is good, being afraid, because it puts some pepper on your ass. Right? If you're too comfortable with what you're doing, maybe, you're not afraid enough, and it might be boring, who knows.
Did you have imposter syndrome?
What?
Imposter syndrome. It's like, did you feel that you were out of place being there with all these experienced actors?
No.
You felt right. You felt right at home.
No. I did not. I did not feel it. At the beginning, it was incredible for me. I came from Italy, man. I took a plane, came over here, and then the first big thing I do with Severance didn't feel right for me. It felt like a dream come true. It was not even a big role. I mean, but still, we're talking about this like it was super. No, but I still didn't feel. It was crazy for me. I'm not saying that I didn't deserve that, right? Because I know how many sacrifices I did to achieve that. And I know that I was the only one who could have done that character. But still, it was incredibly over anything I could have think about. I never thought that would happen to me. So yeah. Why? Because let's talk about it mathematically. The percentage, statistically, it's very low that an actor that was in Italy came here to America, and after a while, just a couple months, he got an audition from Severance. He passed it, and he goes and does Severance, one of the biggest shows right now. It's just statistically, I'm not saying that it can't happen, but it's it's kind of not very possible, right? I see a lot of friends of mine that came here in America, trying to chase a dream, and it's very difficult. So what makes me different from them? Nothing. I mean, we have the same passion.
There's got to be something though that makes you different. Maybe, I don't know. They say success is part luck, part opportunity.
But you have to get the opportunity. You have to grab that. I do also think it's strategy. A lot of stuff, but it's not that. It's not secure. It's very Who knows? Who knows? A lot of cool things happen to people, and they don't know the reason. Maybe for 10 years I won't have anything else. Who knows?
We always try to search for the meaning in things, don't we? I said we always try to search for meaning in the things, don't we?
I think life talks to you. But I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
What gives you that impression?
That life talks to me?
Yeah.
Because a lot of things that happened to me, it kind of seemed like it was meant to be. It was meant to be like most of the time something happened and that happened because something else happened and it wasn't my decision. So I had to go there and I had to do that. And that brings me to another thing that it was a great opportunity for me. So, this path was not decided by me. It was decided by life. Right. And it brings you by itself. Brings you over there by himself. I decided to come to America, and life said, this is the right choice, and it gave me Severance.
Was there any opposite choices that you made that gave you the opposite result? That you thought was the right choice, but ended up not being the right choice?
Yes, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean it is the wrong choice. It just leads you in a different path. What is the right choice in life? You know, I mean, that's the point. I mean, okay, yeah, I want to be an actor, but if I choose a different path, that doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's still good for you, you know, but it's just a different path. So yeah, so I crossed, and I went to a different path for a couple of times that I get back to it, and then I came out and I got back to it. Yeah, because I thought it was a good thing, but it was not probably for me. Yeah.
I always wonder what that feeling is like coming from a different place. Like I'm very curious about what it feels like to show up somewhere. For example, like in your case, America, with no friends, don't speak the language. I'm so curious because
I don't speak a language. I
I'm
otherwise it was very difficult.
Yeah, I'm always curious about it, because it's this level of uncomfort that not many people experience, because at the end of the day you have to learn the language, and not knowing anybody and coming to this space as alone, probably lonely, and trying to find the way. It's like, I think it's a different level of strength. I think it's a different level of inspiration and motivation, because you could have easily been back in Italy. You could have easily been back there.
Yeah. I would have grabbed a plane and go back. Yes, but there was this. She's my girlfriend right now. She was here. Her name is Luciana, and we were friends back there. She was the only person that I knew that was living in New York. She comes from my same hometown, and she helped me. If it wasn't for her, I would for sure be back in Italy. For sure. Probably before Severance. Yeah. She helped me a lot. So yeah, I was not by myself.
What did her belief in you at the time before Severance? How did that inspire you and motivate you to keep going?
Because she chose to go to New York from Monte di Procida. She did the same thing, and she graduated in New York, and now she's acting, and but let me tell you something. It didn't motivate me to come to New York. I decided that by myself, but it motivated me to stay, to continue pursuing my dreams, to continue pursuing my path, because it's difficult when you're by yourself and you're the only one who gives you the motivation. But if you give motivation to another person, that person bounces that motivation to you. It's like a mirror, two mirrors in front of each other. It's infinite, Mm-hmm. The motivation is more. And whenever you're down, I'll bring you up, and whenever I'm down, you bring me up. Right? Mm. We all need that. We're not superheroes. I wish.
I could see. I see like the Superman look. I see like the Clark Kent.
Yeah.
I can see you being like a future Superman.
What about now?
I can see you being a Superman for sure.
Yeah, the Italian one.
Oh God. Was there any down moments though? Like
a lot.
What were those moments like for you? What was the moments of seconds away from giving up, or moments away from giving up, or a day away from giving up? Like what were some of those dark moments for you being here?
When I'm depressed, I usually stay in bed for like 18, 19 hours. I just stay in bed. I just don't want to get up. I just don't want to go to work. I don't want to think about acting. I don't want to think about calling my manager. I don't want to think about going to watch a play. I don't think about going to work out. I don't think about anything, because you lose the reason why you're doing it. The moment you aren't down, you are not motivated anymore because you don't see your path. You don't see the goal. You don't see the reason why you started. You don't see what you want to achieve. And you lose that. You just lose that for a second, and that is completely normal. Imagine someday you wake up and you feel so motivated. Why? It's because somewhere in your brain there is this image of you achieving that goal 5 days later, for example, whatever, a month or a year, and you feel so motivated. But maybe some days you wake up and you don't have that. You don't have that clear image in your mind. You just forgot it for some reason, because maybe you drank last night, or maybe you're too tired today to think. You just want to watch. You just want to watch TV, or you just want to play your Nintendo. So yeah, there's up and downs, man. Up and downs. And that's life. It is life. And if it was like this, it's not exciting anymore.
Up and down, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
How have you been able to manage your mental health, though, and all of it? Like being another identity, being another person, acting as another person.
You're talking about when I came here in America?
No, just in general. Like in
Acting
terms
wise?
of acting, in terms of...
I told you, I don't believe in being another person when you're acting.
Yeah.
I believe in using certain techniques to create a character, but still not being another person. I do not believe that is true.
So why did Heath Ledger become... It seemed that he became Joker. It seemed that he wasn't he was Heath Ledger, but he acted like Joker, and it felt like he was Joker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's he was a great actor, and he probably had a different education. That doesn't mean that the way that I think how acting should be in my case, because it's very personal. Actually, it's how do I feel comfortable doing my job and how other people feel comfortable doing their job. I will bet there's people that think that acting should be like the way I think, and I'm sure there's other people that say, oh yeah, but acting is what Heath Ledger did. I'm not saying that is wrong. I'm saying that whatever works for you, great, go for it. But for me, right now, for my life and what my life brought to me, me being Italian, me retrieving memories from living over here for 3 years when I was an infant, all these techniques that I acquired, all the memories and the reasons and methodology, all that stuff, it helped me act. Yeah. It's very, very, very personal. That doesn't mean that what I think or what Heath Ledger thought is right or wrong. It's just what works better for you. Let's say Pizza Man thinks that the pepperoni pizza should be in the oven for 90 seconds, and another pizza man thinks it should be in the oven for 4 minutes. They're both great. Napolitan pizza has to stay in the oven for 90 seconds, but the American pizza has to stay in the oven for 5 minutes. But they're both great. Have you ever had Napolitan pizza? You should.
I don't know if they have it here.
Yeah, you have to go to Ribalta, or you have to go to Songhinapola. They have.
Where's that? Manhattan?
It's in Manhattan. Ribalta is in Union Square, and Songhinapola it's in downtown. Oh my God, West Side. Yeah, I would say downtown West Side.
Interesting. It sounds pretty good the way that you're describing it.
Yeah. Yes. It's very good. Yeah. It's a wooden oven pizza.
Mhm.
Cooked for 90 seconds, and it's cooked because it takes that much, and la mozzarella di bufala, pomodoro, napoletano. It's different from the American pizza. American pizza is big. This one is like this. It's tall.
Mm.
I'm hungry.
You make me hungry now. How have you been able to measure your personal growth in terms of acting and your personal life?
Let me tell you what. I do think right now that I was a better actor 5 years ago.
Hmm.
Yeah. Even I was a better actor before school. I was free. I didn't think about the opinions of the other people. I didn't think about me judging myself. I didn't think about anything. I was just free. I went to the stage and I was like, yeah, let's do this, and go, 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 go. And you go and you do it. But now I have so many thoughts. Oh, what if I did this wrong? What if I did this thing like that, and then I'll do it like this, and then what he thinks about me? Should I do this with this tonality, or should I do this with that tonality? Or should I go free? Should I get loose, or should I, it's too many options, too many thoughts. I was a better actor before. I didn't think. Yeah. But it's a path. It's a path. Who tells you? Maybe in a month I'll think it in a different way.
Was it? I mean, thoughts for sure are gonna pop up regardless. But it wasn't. You think that a part of the quote unquote fame or like notoriety of it kind of suffocated those good thoughts or the happiness thoughts or the fun thoughts? Or do you think that it was just what do you believe that it was?
I'm not famous. I do not have fame. It's very much part of the fact that this, it comes from a passion, and then it transforms into a career, into a job, right? So whenever you go and do the job, there's a lot of things you have to think about. You have to think about what decision you want to make with this character. You have to think about what character you want to portray, and all that stuff. Brings a lot of thought into it. There's much more on in stake. How you say it? There's much more on the
line.
On the line.
Yeah.
You have to be more careful.
So you would say that in some ways has it felt more like a chore to act?
What is that?
Like, does it, because you said that sometimes, now that it's a job, now that it's work, it's obviously straining or draining at times.
Yeah.
Does it feel, has it lost that fun for you?
If it wasn't funny anymore, if it was fun anymore, I would stop. I will stop, and I'll tell you the truth. Sometimes I stop because I don't see the fun anymore. But then I get back to it and again because I find it again. I maybe do a video with the phone, and it makes me and it makes it fun again. Because us actors, I believe that sometimes we really forget that when we were little, we're little kids, we play and pretending to be a cook, pretending to be an astronaut, pretending to be a cowboy, pretending to be this, pretending to be that. And it was so fun, right? It was great. It was super fun. We forgot that. We forgot how to be kids. Me first. I forgot. I wanna fly again like Peter Pan. Let me tell you, I won't fly again. But yeah. What was the question again?
Does it feel like you've lost the fun in it? And you answered
Yeah,
that.
I said, and it's sometimes you lose it. Yes, sometimes you lose it. But no. But if it wasn't fun, if going to work, if doing Severance, or if doing movies, it wasn't fun anymore, I wouldn't do it anymore. But yes, sometimes in those downs, yeah, it's not fun anymore. It's very there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure because also it's a job where people watch you, right? And you don't do it for yourself anymore. You have to do it for them, right? And that is part of the job. I'm not saying that's wrong, but it's it's part of it.
Yeah.
And you have to deal also with people saying, you know what, I didn't like that actor doing that movie. It was so fake and it was not real, and you have to deal with that. You have to deal with that, judging pressure. Yeah, things that you would not deal about it if you just do this job as a passion. It's okay. Let's do this short, or this like a short with the phone or whatever, like with friends, you know, little plays for friends. Yeah, you don't have that.
How do we keep that like fun alive, though? How do we?
I don't know.
Because I mean, even sometimes I would say podcasting, like for at least in my experience, feels fun. But then there are times where it does feel like a nuance, or it does feel exhausting and draining.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because other things take up the other time, and you can't commit full time to it. But I do wonder that, like, how do we keep fun in our life, or how do we engage and play for somebody that's very serious all the time? Like it's kind of like me. I'm like very serious all the time. Like, how do I engage in that fun, And to
How do you
somebody listening
engage
that
in
might
that?
be listening to it, could just be like, well, fuck, maybe I'm, not as fun as I would like to be.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. How do you keep it fun? Yeah, that's. I don't know.
Like, a part of me feels like if you realize maybe why you did it in the first place, that might kind of reinforce um, some positive, like a feedback loop where it's like the circle, like, oh, I remember why I did it. So now
Yeah.
it creates more fun,
Yeah. Or when it stops being always the same thing. You just lay on what you can do, right? As an actor, or as maybe a podcast, the same thing, artist in general. Whenever you go in a different path, whenever artistically speaking, and you try this new thing, that is exciting, right? If you say, Stefano, just be yourself now. This last take, just do whatever. That is maybe the exciting part, right? That you are free in this cage. There's a cage, and you're free in it, and it brings that excitement back up again, and it makes that fun again. And also, when they give you a script, for example, and you have to do the audition, that is your little 5 seconds of theater play, new creation time. And you have that script, and you say, okay, now over here I can do this, over there I can do that. And of course, this comes also with the billions of thoughts that I was talking about before. So it's always it's in contrast every time. Nothing can go very smoothly. So yes, it's super fun creating whatever, everything that you see on that page. But when you go and do the audition, you say to yourself, am I doing too much? Probably I'm doing too much, right? So it's always you open, you down, you open, you down, you open, you down.
Seems like there's a lot of self-reflection or analyzation in acting.
I don't know. I talk for me.
Mm.
I talk for me. Maybe for somebody else it's completely different. Probably for somebody else it's completely different. Yeah. For me, for me is this. I'm super happy when a script comes and I have that possibility to create, the rehearsal, and then there's a lot of thoughts in it, and there's a lot of positive thoughts, a lot of negative thoughts. Yeah.
What do you think makes a good artist?
What do you think makes a good artist? Empathy.
Why?
Connection. Being open to feel what other people feel, and being open to be a canal of communication, remodeling what you see, and repropose what you remodeled to everybody else. You have to be open. You have to engage and let things come in, come, and then you throw it out and see what happens, and let people use that, listen to that, and see what they feel.
Seems that we've lost empathy, though, as humans. Empatheticless world. Compassionateless world.
Yeah. Is it sad? Yes, it is.
Unfortunately.
Most of the times, I do not. Probably yes, I do. I do agree with you, and I also think that we lost. We lost a lot of. How you say it? I see a lot of fake things around, a lot of fake stuff around. We look at TikTok, we look at Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, whatever, and you see a video, right? And you truly believe in that video. You truly believe that video is true. You truly believe it's sad. You truly believe it's horrible. You truly believe it's fun. But you're not. You never know if that is true. You didn't see it with your eyes. It's over there, but it's the same thing in television. We see interviews. We see reality shows. There's a lot of made up stuff proposed to you so that you can believe in it. And they make it so unprofessionally done that makes you believe that that is real, but probably it's not. We just really want to think that that could be real because we want to entertain ourselves with something that is so fakely real. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just going outside and really find something real, like a tree, or the wind, or kids that played around. We lost that.
It seems like you have some strong negative feelings towards humans, or like humanity a little bit.
No. I mean, it's just what I see. No. I don't. You make me feel like I'm a bad person.
No, absolutely not.
No. No. It's just where the world is going.
Yeah.
The globalization and all that stuff. It's bringing us towards most a lot of hypocrisy. That is what I think. But I mean, it could always change. History tells us that history repeats itself, right?
That it does. That it does. I don't know if we knew that it, and we know that it repeats itself, but we act in the way as if it won't.
Right? We act in the way that something's happening political and geopolitically, right? And we say, what is this? It's like new. It's not. It happened 2,000 years ago. It happened 1,500 years ago. It happened 200 years ago, in a different way, obviously, but it's still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just an example. Democracy comes and go.
Yeah. With all this said, what do you want to leave behind? Like, what do you want your legacy to be by the time you're done acting?
Wow. What a question. Man, I was not prepared for this. I was not prepared for this. Oh God, my legacy.
It's got to be something you thought about.
No.
You don't think about it. You don't think about like the legacy that you'll leave when you're no longer here. Maybe I'm too much of like a deep thinker, but I think about that a lot. Like what will my legacy be?
Yeah.
What will I leave behind?
But is it what you want to leave behind or what it will be behind?
I think it's whatever God decides. I'm just a vessel.
I'm not sure what I will leave behind, and I'm not sure what I want to leave behind. Yeah, that's the truth. I'm just living it.
I mean, in living in your authentic self and being your authentic self, you're leaving a message to be your authentic self, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To go away from what you've been taught as an actor, and not being so involved in this character and attaching yourself to the character, but more or less just being the character.
Yeah.
And not, fully diverging yourself into it.
Yeah.
So
thank you for answering that question.
I just from what I observed in this conversation, that's what it seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, I do prefer to be authentic as possible, as much as authentic as possible. My God, English today is going away. It's flying. Bye, English. For the people who are watching, my English is very good. It's not. I'll try better. Or I'll just be myself.
That's who you know how to be.
Yup.
So, in believing that you don't have fame, or I guess when the cameras aren't rolling, when you are by yourself, who do you see Stefano as?
When the cameras are not rolling
and you're by yourself.
By myself. Yeah. Who do you see Stefano?
Yes. Who do you see Stefano as?
Who do I see Stefano as?
Yeah. How do you view Stefano?
I view Stefano as a big daydreamer.
Yeah.
And I also see Stefano as a big controller. Like, he likes to control everything he can about his life and to pursue that dream in the most effective way possible. But I also see somebody that after 5 minutes just says, but let it be what it is. Don't try to control anything. And if life tells you it's going to be that, it will come.
Was there a certain point in your life that you didn't have control?
Right now. Or
And why does that bother you so much?
it doesn't. It doesn't. The only things that might be that might be bothering me is the judgment of people. That is the only thing that it probably is the negative part of what I do. You know, it's very difficult to let go of judgment.
You judge yourself
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot.
more than do you worry about that judgment more than the other people of other judgment?
Yeah. If I judge myself, I don't let myself fully be authentic, for sure. And that will create problems for for the me actor.
Mm-hmm.
It's been always a thing that I said to myself since I was at school. I said, just let go away of judgment. Just let go away of judgment. Just do it. It's not a thing that you can push a button and it goes away, right? It just doesn't work like that. But yeah, I am on a good path to let judgment go. I would have never thought to be this free in an interview. Is this an interview?
I don't know. It's whatever you want it to be. It's interview, conversation,
yeah,
talk.
I wouldn't have thought about this. Like this is my first time. This is actually probably one of my first times in front of being in the podcast and conversating and with the microphone and the cameras.
Well, it makes me happy that you felt comfortable because it lets me know that I allowed you to feel, not allowed, but I gave you the space to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel good knowing
Nice.
that I was able to do that for you and share these thoughts with me.
Thank you.
But to go back to your judgment, it is a weird thing that we struggle with, isn't it? Where we suffer more in our imagination or our own negative thoughts than we actually do in reality. Because on paper, most people's lives are usually incredible or great or successful, but it's the imagination that we create around our negative situation that deems it as bad.
Yeah.
Like on paper, my life isn't bad, and you know your life better than me. But if you put your life on paper, I would love to know what you would think of that. You know, it's never really that bad, is it? You know, there's a lot of people that don't have water, that woke up with no water this morning, or woke up that are dying. They can't get any time back.
Yeah. Sometimes we forget about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget about how lucky we are. How we are part of that population percentage that grew up and was born in the good side of the or
Yeah.
Good side, but the easiest side probably.
Yeah. But then when it's so hard to detach from that, right? Like, because your suffering feels so real, and then when you hear somebody else's story about what's going on in their lives,
it's about how you perceive suffering. It's about how you perceive what's your tolerance level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's people that have had worst stories than ever, and still are alive and still are happy and smiling. And sometimes we're over here crying about some bullshit. Makes us bad people? No, it doesn't make us bad people. It makes our tolerance levels ignorant. And yeah, makes us. I'm not saying that we're ignorant, but I'm saying that we don't know about what happens to the other people. We can't know. It's impossible. I don't know your life. You don't know mine. I don't know your sufferings. I don't know your traumas. I don't know what happened to you. You don't know what happened to me. So we can never fully compare how do I feel and how do you feel towards life. Right?
Yeah.
We can just talk about it. But I can't say, oh, I suffered more. Oh, no, I'm happier. I mean, you can't.
Yeah. Then it also poses the question, does anybody ever get to know who you are? Or do they only know what you share? To somebody that truly knows you, I think you would have to say everything about you. But to some degree, if you would never be able to share anything. You would never be able to share everything about you.
No, it's impossible. It's impossible to share everything about you because probably it is a little wrong too. You, as a person, you should keep your private parts of yourself that makes you who you are, right? There's something that you keep for yourself because that is the core of who you are, right? You know, little bits here and there, you know, that makes you who you are. You don't have to share. There's no reason to share, you know, those things. But let me tell you what. There's my girlfriend. She really knows me. She really knows what we are together. And one day there will be a family that every single part of that family will know how we are together. But my son or my daughter will never know who I was before of that, who I was when I was 16, 17, 18. It's impossible. That doesn't mean though that me of 17 years old and me when I will have family are different people. We're just, you know, growing into something different. In different entities, you know, the family entity is different, you know. But you know, we all will really know each other for who we are in that environment.
Does she know your sufferings?
Yeah, of course. Of course, but she can't fully understand. It's a thing that I say, I'll just do an example, right? I'll just do an example to you. I'll say to you, oh, I've been abandoned, right? You do understand what abandoned means, and you do understand what it can bring, right? Consequences that can bring being abandoned to a person. But you can't fully understand my perception of it and what made me feel, how made me feel, right? So yes, she knows. But she can't understand.
Is there any way that we can make people understand?
How?
Do you ever think that we're understood?
Subjective. There's moments where, yes, we are understood, and there's moments that we're not, because what we're trying to be understood on, it's different. For the example that I did to you is practically impossible, but but if I say, hey, I don't like those type of carrots, you do understand, you know, it's you know, different things. We can't answer that question fully, you know. But yeah, I think the most important thing is to be open to understand, to be open in the conversation, to be open in accepting what are you giving to me, and me trying to understand is already better than just listening and waiting for something to say.
It's empathy, isn't it?
Or at least try.
Yeah. How long have you been in, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been in your relationship for?
we always we always talk about this because it's kind of strange. Say 2 years.
What's been the most important thing that you've learned in relationships and in love?
To be quiet and listen. It's not about being quiet and okay and listen. No, it's to shut yourself down in order for the other person to communicate freely without judgment. It's giving freedom. That's very important. Most of the times we perceive relationships as it's me and you, and that's it. No. It's me with you. But I mean, sometimes we perceive relationships as something that is it's controlling, and it's not. It should not be like that way. It should be a team, right? That is what I want to try to do. Being a team. We're stronger together.
Are you stronger? You're stronger with her than without?
Yeah. I am. I do understand even more about myself. And she also tells me, hey, what you did was wrong. What you did was right. What you did, think about it. I mean, another person, and that you fully trust and gives you advices or gives you what they think about a certain thing, argument, or whatever. It's very important because it opens your mind to other possibilities. Sometimes we're just focused on what we think and what we think is true, that we don't see that there's so many other opportunities out there you don't even realize. You don't even imagine. You don't even imagine.
Operating in the ego instead of operating as a human or like as the self. So we allow the ego to dictate certain things. And I think there's just something so incredibly precious about, like you said, listening to another human being, because I guess the way that I think about it is that allowing another human being to speak freely and judgment offers a sense of play they feel like when they were a kid, where they don't have to worry about what other people were thinking of them or what they thought of themselves, and you kind of heal their child in that sense. You heal the child in themselves.
Yeah.
Especially if you never experienced being listened to, which can be a very difficult thing because you never feel like you were actually listened to, But I'm happy that you said that, because I do believe that shutting up and listening is a very good piece of advice. Not sure if you're familiar with Jordan Peterson, but he says that you have to be willing to sit for 90 minutes with your wife or your spouse each week and listen to what they're saying. That's what he says towards men, at least. And I know he's a very controversial person, but it makes sense. if you sit there and listen to somebody, you know, they could be telling you a lot that you don't really know about.
I do also believe in the fact that, yes, I should be able to sit and listen to you for 90 minutes. You said 90 minutes a week?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he roughly said. I think it was like 90 minutes. I'm ballparking it, though. I think it was like, I believe it was 90 minutes a week. It could have been more. It could have been less. Don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
Jordan, don't come after me.
But we were trying to forget also. No, we're trying to forget, but we do tend to forget that we also, the other side wants that too.
Yeah.
Both of us. Not me and her in general, but in general, couples or whatever. Everybody wants to be listened to. And the difficult part is the shutting. And it's the shut down. That is the difficult part.
What's the masculinity differences in the eastern part of the world as opposed to the western part? Because the western part, we were taught to shut our feelings down, or little boys were taught to, you can't express your feelings, you can't cry. And I'm curious to know what the eastern hemisphere of the world was taught. Like, what were you taught as a kid in terms of being a man and showing up as masculine as possible? Or what does a man look like?
I was always able to cry. I had always that freedom of express my feelings. I'm an only child, so I also feel the loneliness in listening to my feelings by myself, listening to my own feelings and there's no opportunity, to let them out. But I do not believe there's a difference between West and Eastern ways of masculinity growing up. I think there's different environments in the whole world that give to little boys different ways to grow up. So, for example, I had a lot of ways to listen and to express my feelings by myself in my own room. But that doesn't mean that I am comfortable right now expressing my feelings. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe who didn't express their feelings when they were little kids, right now they have an explosion of it because they really had it was impossible for them to do it before, so now they just want to bring them out, right? It's about the environment and not about where you grew up, right?
What did it feel like being an only child? As somebody who I have one of my good friends is an only child, and I ask him a lot, like, what is it like? And he's somebody who's very hyper independent, doesn't really talk about his feelings much.
Yeah.
Because he's experiencing his feelings, and number two, he doesn't have anybody to share them to. So what has that been like for you to give me an understanding of what that was like?
It was very difficult for me to not be able to have a friend, brother, sister, a person in your same team, it was, and let me tell you what, it was not even the most difficult thing, because you find it difficult when you know what's on the other side, right? if I had the opportunity to experience what would have been having a brother or sister, I would have been much more sad right now. You know what I mean? So, but since I don't have the experience of what it is like having a brother or sister, it's okay. It's all right. I just have one type of experience, and it's this one, and you have to deal with it. So in time, I dealt with the how you say dealt
Mm-hmm.
dealt with it, and you get used to it. You get used to it, and you get used to um, dealing with your own feelings, dealing with the bad stuff, dealing with the good stuff, and yeah, and and when and when it happens, when you're on stage, and it happens that you have that little time to express all the feelings that you kept inside because there was no way else to say it, to express those feelings, you do it on stage. That really helped me a lot. When I'm on stage, I feel like for that hour and a half, I have a brother. And I go. That is great. And I go and I have fun and I give it all. All the things that had to stay inside. That is the fun part.
That they. So all of those things that are stored, just released.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That
mean, not just released because you can decide.
you have to.
You have to, and of course there are some ways to organize the things. And well, at school, at acting school, they teach you how to open that little door, that storage door where you keep all your things right inside of you, and you just pick whatever you need, and you you bring it out, right? It's very interesting. Very
Yeah, that is
interesting.
fascinating. Because it's like, how can you, like, when I think of Matthew McConaughey in that Interstellar scene
Hmm.
where he cried,
Yeah.
he said that was the only one take.
Yeah, of course.
He only needed one take for that.
Yeah. Yeah,
You just,
I
I don't,
feel like in real life, I don't know if you have ever had an experience where you had to, you cried that much. It just happened once. Why should it happen twice?
yeah.
You just need one time. That's
Yeah.
it.
You're acting at that point if you do it two times.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was real. Like it was
Yeah.
just emotions, just raw emotions, just pouring out whatever was held on.
And to get to that, you need to be comfortable, sharing that side of you. It's not even that. It's where do you get that? Which door inside of you have to open to get that? How do you get to that door inside of you?
That's what I was wondering.
Do you have the keys for it?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
That's all things that you learn probably at school and from experience, from time, and with help, probably. Not saying that Matthew McConaughey is not a great actor. He's one of my favorite actors. He's great. But as I told you before, I do think that acting in movies, it's a team that is working on that. Right? Matthew McConaughey did his part, but behind that, there's a team that made that scene great. Right?
What are some actors that you want? Who are some actors that you want to work with?
I want to work with Andrew Garfield. Maronna mia, così bella. He's a great actor. Yeah, I love him. I loved him in Tick Tick Boom. He's a great actor. My God. One of my favorite was, I mean, he still is, Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm. Man, he was incredible.
Incredible.
Goodwill Hunting.
Miraculous.
Goodwill Hunting might be one of the best movies of all time. So much truth, so much about men, so much about emotion, so much everything.
Yeah.
You feel like you feel like that whole movie, you understand sometimes what a man could feel like.
Yeah. Wow.
You know?
Wow. He had that smile. That smile that brings me happiness every time I see him. He had that way to communicate. It just enters in you. Wow. What's your favorite actor?
I probably would also agree on Robin Williams.
Nice.
I enjoy Denzel Washington too. I think he's an incredible actor. Matthew McConaughey has done some great work. But I also might be quite honest. I'm not much of a movie watcher. So I don't know why. I can't tell you why. I want to be, but
you want to be.
I want to be.
I also want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
But I don't go. Yeah, what's the difference in want to do something and
doing
it?
That's a good question.
Right?
I think wanting to do something is, if you want something, you desire it in some way. But between doing it is the mental action or the mental choice to say that you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like most people would want to start content creation or they would want to start a podcast, but most don't because they either, number one, understand how much work it is, or number two, don't understand how much work it is. You know?
Yeah, of course. There is a saying in Italian, tra il dire e il fare c'è di mezzo il mare. That means in between saying and doing, there is the sea. So it's the gap between saying and doing. It's big.
Interesting.
Just very.
I enjoy that. I like that saying.
Yeah, we need to find like a rhyme.
Yeah, like
It was very wrong. How I said it was very horrible. In Italian, it sounds very much better.
Maybe the choice between saying and doing is actually wanting to make a change. Because you're saying you're going to do something and actually doing it, you made a conscious choice to actually do it. Saying I want to make $1 million doesn't mean I'll make $1 million. It's the choices that I made each day to go make $1 million.
Yeah.
Saying I wanted to audition for Severance is completely different than actually doing the audition for Severance.
Yeah, but that is not on you.
But what was the difference?
I can't choose the.
But what was the difference though? The difference is that you chose to do the audition, right? You made the conscious choice each day. Yeah, that opportunity came to you.
I mean, I did all the steps required to get as close as possible to get an audition.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, they auditioned people in Italy too, so
But
did.
they chose you.
Yeah.
They chose
But
you.
they chose me. Yeah, and I did. I mean, all the things that I did, I was unaware of Severance.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do it. There it is. You don't do it for the final goal, like because you see the goal at the end. You just do it because you enjoy it.
Mm.
Maybe I don't go to the gym because I don't enjoy the gym, but I love to see me fit.
Hmm.
Maybe you don't watch movie because you don't enjoy watching the movie. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just an example.
Yeah, it's good.
But you'd love to have the possibility to talk about a great movie,
Yeah.
right?
It's more or less that idea of like being in love with the progress more than the destination.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
You enjoy the creation of it. You enjoy the progress that you're making.
Yeah. There's another saying, oh my God. Something about destination and travel. That is, it's much more fun to travel than the destination.
We also have another saying in English. It's the man who likes walking. The man who likes walking will go a lot farther than a man who just wants to get to the destination.
Right. Yes.
That's what it is?
Nice.
Yeah. Interesting. I do have one more question for you.
Go for it.
And you may or may not have an answer to this, but what is one question that you still have about life that you're still trying to figure out the answer for? Or what's a question that you're still searching for in your own life?
Probably the thing that we were talking before is that if I will ever be truly happy or accomplished when I get to that final goal, or I just want to exaggerate and go and never be fully accomplished. If I'm one of those. What about you?
I think so. I think the same thing. Does money buy happiness? I think it's a question that I will love to know. Or will success bring me more happiness? It's something that I constantly think about and I yearn for. Or like, what is the point of all this?
What is the point of all this?
Knowing that I'm gonna not be here one day, but knowing that
that's also the legacy thing.
But you're working so hard at something, but knowing that someday somebody's gonna forget your name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're gonna work for something so hard, and then maybe tomorrow you get a car will smack you.
Yeah.
And it's all done. So what's the reason?
I don't know if we ever know it though.
No, impossible.
I think there's like a moment where we have like an idea or an epiphany about, but we don't ever. I don't know if we ever know the answer to it. Like we'll have an understanding like this is what life is for, or this is what all of that was meant for. This is what.
It depends in what you believe. If you have any religion beliefs. I do not want to talk about religion. I'm Catholic, yes. But I feel like this question is much more of a philosophical question. And I'm still trying to find, the path that brings philosophy and religion and science all together, um, for some peace of mind. I am constantly fighting with my dad about evolution and creationism. Um, so we will never know the truth, obviously, but probably the best for us, every single one of us, is to not let the truth dictate how you live your life right here. Because, as a good artist said, and I will say it, Bo Burnham, I don't know if you know the guy, he said that maybe, what was it? Maybe life, maybe this is heaven. Maybe this life is heaven already. We don't know about it. So, whatever you think about what's after death, don't have to dictate how you live this life.
Hmm. Or maybe another way of thinking about it is like, this is hell. This is what hell is.
I think you can suffer a little more. I think there is way worse than this. Really. This is not hell. There is everything over here to make you happy. In hell, there won't be. No way to escape.
But I don't know, because like, is happiness a perception, or is happiness a feeling? Because I can be happy that I just won $1 million, but at some point that happiness will be gone. Nothing is forever.
But
I'm
this
playing
is
devil's advocate over here.
no, but no, it's okay. But you just instantly gave happiness equals money, right there.
Well, okay. Let me give another example besides money. Nothing is forever. The way that you're feeling now will be different tomorrow.
Yeah,
The way that you're feeling tomorrow will be different the next day.
yeah.
Happiness, I don't know if, I think as humans we're chasing contentment. Being content with our life, because being content with your life to me is, you know what, I'm good with my life. I'm not euphoric and happy all the time, but I'm pretty darn content with my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad, I'm not sad, I'm not depressed. But I don't know if happiness is
Is a good way to describe it.
yeah, because happiness, you could be happy that you just got some Chipotle. And then after you eat the Chipotle, you're not happy anymore.
Makes your day better.
Yeah.
It makes your day better. Probably happiness is a feeling that we felt when we were younger, like little kids, probably in that moment where we were all playing together. There was a sun, bicycles, balls, and friends, and everybody loved you. Your mom, your dad, your whole family over there, the garden, trees, little insects. They were all happy, right? It was that moment that you remember And you said, I would love to get back to that place.
Mm.
And I'm sure that moments like that, we are living it day by day, but we are not truly understanding them until we will be 50 and remember this day as a happy moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's about perception.
Mm-hmm. Presence as well. Mm. Interesting.
I mean, that's me because I'm a little nostalgic.
Yeah.
I'm a very nostalgic person, not because I miss moments. It's because I don't know why. It's because maybe I want to live that moment again. Just because I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know.
But then would you say you're kind of looking into the past, though?
Looking into the past.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that? It's not that past. The past already taught me by my mistakes. You did mistakes in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those happen, and you learn from them, and you go forward. That doesn't mean that you can't think about the past with good feelings about it.
But sometimes people we stay there though. We stay in the past. Yeah, we never really stay here.
Oh, that's wrong. It's a choice.
So
I'd say, oh well, that was 2 years ago. That moment 2 years ago was so nice. I want to live it again. But that doesn't mean that you won't that you don't want to live your life right now in the present, or you don't do it. It's bullshit. You can do both. You can do it if you always think about the past and always stay in the past. Always. You had some great moments over there, and then your life goes down, 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 and every day that goes down, you think about that moment over there. I want to get back. I want to get back. No. Go up. Continue going in your life. Continue living your life. And think about what brought you there. And be proud of that. Stupid stuff that I've done in the past here brought me here. And if here I'm not able to say thanks to me here, why am I here for it? I have to say thanks to myself. It's like that thing. What would you say to yourself of 10 years ago? What is that one phrase that you would say to him? You know what I would say? Continue like this. I'm proud of you. Go. I will never say you're about to make a mistake. Don't do it. I will never say that. Because that is what made me the person that I am now. And I kind of like it. I mean, I would love to have a couple millions in my bank account, but I would say, yeah, invest in Bitcoin.
invest in Netflix a little bit. Stefano, it's been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you for coming on and making me contemplate and think. Thank you for enjoying the space with me.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me come here.
Of course.
That was great.
Where can the people find you on socials?
They can find me on Instagram. Stefano Carannante. That's it. Yeah. Double N. CARN. No shit. I don't know how to spell my last name. CARANNANTE.
Don't forget the double N. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to more conversations with you.
Yeah, please.
and more collaborations in the future.
Yeah.
As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing support, and thank you guys for showing love. Stefano, thank you.